Hi, and welcome to episode 15 of Daizie Knits. I'm Daizie. You're sitting with me in the floor of my neighbor room, shop behind me, a big old mess around me, and we're going to get this party started. I got a lot to share with y'all today. So, how are you doing? I'm getting there. We had a big snowfall. Kids are outside playing for a few minutes, so I'm going to try to squeeze all this in. FOs. I have 2 this week. So I'll start with my first one. It's Off the Wing pattern by me in the Fibro Fibers Nightfall. I don't believe she's dying anymore, but you might be able to pick up some on D-Stash. I don't know. It self-gradiates down into a chocolate brown. So, really cool yarn. And I actually got to use every bit of it. I think I had like yay left after I bound off and woven my ends. So, and I did weave in both ends. For me, that's a big thing. So, US 7 or 8, I can't remember which needle size I used for that. And then, I was communing with my stash. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I like to occasionally go just sit and stare at my pretties. And I was staring at them the other night. I had just finished this, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next, kind of a quick project. And my husband saw this yarn. And this is hand spun that I spun it probably 2, maybe even 3 years ago. It's Fiber Nymph Dye Works, 7525 BFL Tussa Silk. I had about 160 yards. This is what's left of that spun, that hand spun. It was definitely a worsted 3-ply. I Navajo plied it. The braid was a gradient, and so I plied it as a gradient. The colorway was Winter, Solstice, Sunrise. So I showed it to him. I cast on 80 stitches, and he wanted a pretty simple hat. He said he didn't want anything fancy, but he wanted it long so he can fold it up and have his ears with double layers. So I knit the whole first color in ribbing, and then I switched to stockinette. And then after I got about an inch into the 3rd color, and then I started just some general decreases. I didn't have a pattern for that. I kind of made it up as I went. And I did this on a US 7. US 7 Magic Loop. And he actually very much loves it. I had to take it away from him today just so I could record. I'm a terrible wife. I'm like, hey, I made you this, now I'll give it back here. So when I finished that, I was still thinking about my stash. And I remembered another hand spun that I had in there. And here's where I admit I'm a bad spinner sometimes, because I totally forgot where I got this from. I got it at a festival in Arkansas that's not even happening anymore. And let's see if we can get you some colors in there. And what it was 2 bats. They are inspired by Lisa. I should show you the pink too. Lisa Souza was the inspiration. I think it's Souza. I think no, that's not right. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? The whole 80s neon pink, 90s neon pink stationery stuff. That's the inspiration. But the way she had bats, she had one bat that was plain wool. The other bat had sparkles and bamboo and fun stuff in it. So I got one of each, and then I plied them together. So I spun the singles and then plied it together. There we go. So I do have, like you can see, a little bit of barber pulling up in the yellow, which will then go to the green, into the blue, into the purple. I started this yesterday, so I got a pretty good chunk of it going. This is the What's Your Point? I had to stop and look down here. What's Your Point scarf. And it was a free pattern on Ravelry. I wanted to have it reversible. So let's see if I can, there we go. You can see that little arrow texture. I called my project Arrow Rainbow. And you can see I'm starting to transition into the yellow. I don't know about y'all, but when I wear stuff, it tends to get rumpled. And I love the pretty scarves that have the lace. But a lot of times after I've worn them a couple of times, that lace tends to like smush in on itself, and it never fails. I have the wrong side facing out because as I walk, things move, and apparently I'm a hot mess all the time, and I'm always in motion. So I wanted something that was reversible, so it doesn't matter which side I have showing out. They're both going to be pretty. So that's what I'm currently working on. And this one is actually riding around in one of my Rainstorm Studio bags. So, and this is on a US 7. I have a project page for it. For the life of me, though, I looked all around. I can't find the tag for it. I had 400, right at 400 yards. 416 or something like that. When I wound it off, I counted. So I at least know how much yardage I had, but I don't know where it came from. I wish I could remember because I do love these colors. So that's FOs, and that's what I'm currently working on. I don't really know future knitting wise what I've got going. Probably a pair of socks, but I don't know. So, Master Knitter. You guys remember these? These were the swatches that I had on the needles. I had all 4 of them on a needle last week. So this one is just a 3 needle bind off. I do need to reblock it. My edges are curling a little bit, but it's done. 3 needle bind off. And then I learned how to Kitchener in garter. Up until this point, I've avoided it because I just didn't know how. I knew how to Kitchener, and I can Kitchener all day long, but I didn't know how to Kitchener in garter. And I found out it's easy. I don't know why I avoided it. Check that out. I am so super proud of that. Yes, I know that the seams are in an opposite color. That's how they're required so the committee member can see my joins better. But look at that. I'm so proud of that. Go me. So these are those 2, and I've done, I think, all the research for it. They're done. On Sundays, my husband has been taking the kids out of the house, and I have about 2 hours of quiet time on Sunday evenings. That's when I've been doing a lot of my research for my Master Knitter, because it's 2 hours of quiet time, and nobody's asking me, can I get on the computer, or what you read, and can I sit in your lap? Hey, I randomly just want to yell at you. It's quiet. So that's been my 2 hours of really research, really read through things. And this past Sunday, I finished those up, and then I started my research for my next swatches. I think I have 4, and they're buttonhole swatches. So you'll be seeing some buttonholes coming up next. That'll be the next thing I tackle. So that's what's going on there. I will give you a little bit of shop news. If you're coming to the Pipeline Retreat, you have a week left to place your order if you're going to for a Pipeline bag. It's a bag, the sock blank, and the cool logo with the charm. Let's see if we can get that charm. The zipper pull charm is a set of bagpipes. How cute. I will link this as well as the sock bunny kits. You still have until the end of February to order these. The Pipeline Retreat kits, we are asking that you be at the retreat because I'm delivering those. The sock bunny ones, if you're at the retreat, we'll give them to you. If not, we'll mail them to you. I will put both of those order forms up. You get a really cute little bag. You get a set of stitch markers and then a set of Mitney skeins. I should probably show you the front of the bag. That's the back. I was showing you the front of the bag. To give you an idea, let's see. This is a business card, a standard business card. This is the bag. So the bag really is about the size of a business card. Like it's right there, size-wise comparison. Just so you know. For me, it's an awesome no-shiz pouch. I've got stitch markers actually hiding out in here right now. Yeah, that's my bag. It's okay. So, there's that. Oh, also wanted to let you know, today I actually sat down and I published a new pattern. It's up on Ravelry. it's a $3 sock pattern, and I should have probably brought you a pair of socks to show you what that looks like. I did not. However, you can go check it out on Ravelry. Otherwise, I will show you that sock pattern next week. Because honestly, I don't want to get up and go get a sock. So I'll show it to you next week. But it's there in case you're looking. I think that's all shop stuff. Spinning. I do want to tell you about my spinning because I am so proud of myself. I was a big girl this week. And when I first started podcasting, I told you I had a pound of fiber that my husband had dyed up for me. And it was still sitting. I hadn't done anything with it because I couldn't decide. I'm very indecisive sometimes. So this week I decided that's it. I'm going to get busy. And so I pulled out the fiber and I made a list. Ooh, I got a list even. And I'm going to do a study of spinning and plying. So this fiber, which you can see a little bit of the pink, it's not, I broke the fiber down into 6 individual bumps, and each bump is not the same. They are all different. This one has almost all teals in it. So a lot of the same color. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6 ways, obviously. 6 bumps, 6 ways. One will be I will ply all the way through and I will cake it up and then 2-ply it. The next one will be I will break it in half, ply, spin, spin, ply. And then I will break it in half for number 3. I'll break it in half and flip one. And then, ply that back together. Spin, flip it, spin it, ply it together. Number 4, I will break it in half, spin the one side, and then do what's called a fractal. So I will strip out the second half and spin those little bitty bits end to end to end, and then 2-ply that. And then the 5th way will be to do a 1 solid single and then Navajo ply or chain ply. And then the 6th way is to do a true chain or true 3-ply. So I have 3 singles that are all spun together. That's the game plan. I broke it down. I'm setting up my little spinning corner now. I think I'm going to do it all on my e-spinner just because I really do love that little machine and I need to give it some more love. So I'm going to set up my Hansen. I've got my really cool little bag. It's going to be my spinning bag, and I'm going to start with this braid right here. It's just fibery goodness, and I think it's Superwash BFL. But I'm thinking because I will have 4 sections that are 2-ply and 2 sections that are 3-ply, then I can knit something or make something together with them together. Does that make sense? That's the game plan. So that's what I've got going on. And I will be having some spinning, hopefully. That's the idea, is to have some spinning going on. And I think that's everything for this week. I know I covered a lot. I'm really sorry. I did get a little bit long, but not too long, I hope. And I hope you enjoyed it. I will see y'all again next week, I hope. Contact information will be at the end. You can see it scroll across. If you have questions, hit me up. I'm happy to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll sit and chat with you next week. See ya!